access, and it's in a sea of property that's selling for $200,000 to $300,000, and you have a property listed for 10 grand, you're going to sell it.
Mhm.
Somebody's just going to pick it up because it's so cheap, and then try to figure out whatever later.
Caleb sold my first property to a repeat buyer. Didn't even have to relist. They reached out after seeing my other deals. There
That's
you
the
go.
beginning of marketing.
Well, that's the whole point. Why too? Like, we're not out to reset the market, right? You want to sell something for, what, like this 189. It's, say it's worth 200 or 250. If you really want to sit around for a year and a half or so, I don't know, a year, let's just say, and try to go for that 250, you probably could. But let's move on. And then that person feels so good, right? And you turn that money into something else quickly, and that person comes back because they know they got a good deal. So love it. Andrew D says, close on a 40-acre property for $12,000. A neighbor just offered 29,000 cash.
I have a win to share.
Oh, do you? Tell me.
Jill and I just received, we get these all the time, but this one stuck out for some reason. Our transaction coordinator let Jill know, or put it into our database system, that somebody called from 2004 and decided to accept our offer of $2,000 for a 20-acre property. And both of us looked at it because there's a nostalgia scenario.
Yeah,
And we passed on it.
we did. Exactly.
We would have scooped that up in 1 second back then.
Once upon a time.
Why?
Isn't that great?
Because we've raised our standards about the deals. And I'm not saying you should do this. There's no doubt we could buy for 2, sell for 4. No doubt in my mind. Probably sell for 10. We just don't want to work on transactions that require that much time and energy for us and our staff anymore. And I think that's a win. So not all wins are financial.
I also think it's a true, what's the word, proof or something, that our letters haven't changed that much in 20 or 30 years. They've always been very professional, not hokey, not pretend postcards or anything like that. And they put them in their file. They may not be ready at that time, but they save our letters for 20 years and then call. And it's the sweetest thing. They're like, would you still pay blah, blah, blah? I'm like, talk about
This
a deal.
was, I think, the son of a deceased person inherited it and just wanted to be done with it.
Here you go. Thank you. Everybody's loving this new time. I'm so glad. Thank you, Mark. I just closed my 10th land deal and my first mobile home deal last month.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Good job. So great. All right, here's our question of the week. All good. Danny's like, and now I don't have to miss dinner with the kids. I'm so glad. Thanks, Danny. All right, so from Camille, she wrote, for those of you who've done multiple mail campaigns, how often do you remail in a county that worked well for you? Do you wait a certain amount of time before mailing the same area again, or do you prefer to move on to completely new counties?
This is a great question. It's come up over the years, and it's very important. Then it's all personal preference, but I can tell you what happens to us, and I think to most people who do a bunch of deals. As you're going throughout your land mailing venture, submission venture, you add new places to try, but what ends up happening is you always go back to the well on, maybe for us it ends up being about 4 markets. They're not tiny markets, but they're not massive. And with every mailer that we send out, almost without exception, we pull another 1 or 2 deals out of it. And so how often do you do it? We don't do it more than 1 year. I'll tell you that there was a person in Career Path several years ago. This is an extreme example, that never bought a property out of one single county in his entire life. He just kept mailing and mailing and mailing the same thing and pulling deals out of there. What would that work forever? I don't know. I'm not sure. We don't do it that way.
I like Chris's thing. Chris says, I wait 1 year. People's lives change. That's true. And sometimes they forget. They don't remember. There's times that I've gotten, I'm sure you have too, Chris. They're like, didn't you just da-da-da? I'm like, no, that wasn't me. But what's funny is sometimes I'm not afraid of it at all too, because sometimes if somebody else's letter landed right before mine, it warmed them up. then they got to mine and I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah, there's some hate that comes with it. So that's,
There's hate that comes with all of it. It's just laughable.
I'm over it. My whole thing is, we've had this discussion. It's like, what's going on in that person's world that they have to be so mad at some random person trying to give them money? Fine.
I think, I was thinking about it a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, about the hate. And I'm also doing some content for manplan.com. I'm going to plug manplan.com. If you would like to, you're a man, you need a plan. If you're a woman, you're welcome to take a look also, because men may or may not be part of your life. But I'm thinking about the hate. And so we've been getting the hate, geez, forever, since the first piece of mail went out. And it's prepped me mentally to manage the crap that's going on in this world right now. There's a huge increase in just people like going like this. Just a lot more animosity for all of us have for who cares why. And I've been laughing at the hate from mailers for a really long time. And I noticed that we kind of laugh about, like, if somebody's driving crazy, you don't get mad about it. You just laugh about it. It's just like the hate. It's part of life. And so it's really trained me. I started to write a module, part of a module about, you just can't let that stuff get to you. You got to let it roll off your back, or you're going to drive yourself nuts and everybody else around you. Most old men with gray hair that I know have the opposite opinion about that. They have a lot to say, and that's not good.
Very true. Do you have some current events before we jump into all the other stuff? Okay, good.
Let's look at our weekly trends, national trends in real estate in general, with the same amount of disappointment that we've had for what seems like a year now. I'm not sure how long, but it's getting to the point, there's just no changes. It's almost like the data is not, it's null. New listings, minus 2%, -5%, and then it went up tiny. This is not a material change in anything. Active listings they might as well be flat. And so it's to a point now where I wonder, because we just had a 0.5 point interest rate change. I truly wonder if this is being manipulated somehow.
You know what? When listing prices don't change, you know what that tells me? Like, if I were a seller, I'd be panicking. Everybody wants their prices to go up. That's just how it is, right? We all want that. But so all it does to me is these numbers, it's kind of like, I wish I could, it's almost, I want to screenshot this and put this on my mailer and say, here's your market and here's my offer. They'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll take it.
There's some complex economic things here at work. Eggs and bananas are 2 and 3 times what they used to be a year ago, price wise.
I still.
Yeah.
Oh.
But our real estate values aren't changing. It's just strange. And we've had a 0.5 point reduction. So I have more questions now than answers. I usually have a lot of answers. The fact is, number one, here's the fact: we are not having a real estate recession. Everybody predicted it, me included. We're just not having one. Number two, we can spin this all to a real positive situation for all of us, because all this property is just sitting on the market. And as evidenced by these wins that we look at now every week, people are doing deals in our group.
Do you guys get those little notifications like I get in Zillow? I'm like, Zillow's like my favorite. So every single zip code I've looked at since forever, I get little notifications. I get like usually a couple a day, and it tells me this zip code, here's how it's performing month over month and year over year. And I love it. And so many markets are down.
Yeah.
I was showing our staff, I'm like, look at this. There's a few that are up, that are some special little nuggets, but a lot of them are down. I'm like, look at this. This is what it shows. Average median, this shows housing. It shows the median housing price last year, median housing price today, how many are on the market, how many recently sold, and what the prediction is up or down. And I was like, these are all great information. Just if you get those, leave them on, because that you absorb that stuff. And when you sit down to do your mailer and you're planning and you're thinking of zip codes or where to go, you're going to go, oh yeah. And it really helps you, pricing, and it helps you maybe even negotiating, not really negotiating, but speaking with sellers. Yep, there we go. 24 out of 50 states. I believe it, Brad.
What I really like about that report is it surprises you. You don't have
It
to go out and
does.
get it. They email it to you. But if you want to, you can dig around Zillow and pull out those reports for any zip code.
Mhm.
And it's zip code based. It's not, it's its own market for the most part.
Yeah.
And so you can really see which zip codes are down, which zip codes are up, how far down they are. You can dig in. There's these resources
really
if
cool.
you're newer. All these resources here, really, if you start just spend a couple hours in there digging around on the research that what's happening from a market by market standpoint, you can see where people are moving, where their land deals really are, and all of it. This piece of moving on here, this is I put the link in the chat here. This is a great example of technology is increasing as we go, and we'd be crazy not to utilize it. Just like from a data standpoint, we use DataTree. They are offering an owner name standardization scenario. This is nationwide, so it normalizes individuals' names. You know, if you've ever done any type of mailer before we had Deal Complete, and you're actually looking at all this stuff in the spreadsheet, there's Stephen Jack Butella, Stephen J Butella, Stephen Butella. Those are three separate different data entries. This normalizes that. It does it with LLCs, and then it actually gives unique owner IDs, which I love. And so a lot of counties do this too. They say that Jill and I could own all kinds of property in some county, and I don't know, let's say New Mexico. She owns it, I own it. We have 6 LLCs or some number like that own it, and we get a unique owner identification, which, you know, depending on which side you're on that, is a positive thing. It's positive for them so that they don't have to send out 7 million tax bills. So this is a one step closer to finding out who owns property and contacting them to see if they want to sell it. A lot of this stuff gets just thrown in it doesn't get mailed because it gets scrubbed out of your mailer. So this is low hanging fruit that no one's contacted. That's my point. And it's all because of data.
Because it's confusing.
Adam,
Untangling it.
yeah, exactly. Adam Data, if you don't know about it, has been around for quite some time. We talk to them now and then. I do personally talk to the upper level sales staff and sometimes the C-level staff. And they like to say, we don't make a cake. We just provide the ingredients to make the cake. Please go make your own cake. And so makes me happy because I want the raw data and then I want to be able to create a product for myself. There are several people that I can think of at the career path level that have taken these tools and created some amazing stuff for themselves so they can buy and sell land.
Thank you.
Does Deal Complete do this so we send mail to only one unique owner too? Not yet.
It's coming.
Yeah.
All this stuff is coming.
This is
We have
pretty
like
new.
2 or 3, I don't know how many, there already are slated, like 2 or 3 Deal Complete additions, if you will, that are scheduled, I think, between now and the end of the year.
Deal Complete will remove, if there's 6 entries in a zip code owned by 123, LLC, those will be removed so that they only get one offer. But if it's 123 with no comma LLC, and the next one's 123 LLC, then from a data perspective, this is not necessarily AI. It's just code, I think. But geez, our lives are going to change. Our lives are going to become easier and better and faster at buying real estate and utilizing these tools.
Some people will say, you heard this, if you've been with us for a while, like, oh, I missed the boat. No, you didn't. You are fine. I love it. And when there's little lulls and things like that, like have been happening, a lot of people don't know how to hang in there. And that's partially probably why you're here. Why we've been through some of these lulls and some really big dips and some catastrophic ones too. And
Yeah.
we hung in there, pulled ourselves back up and kept on trucking.
If
And we will help you with that too.
the party was over, this wouldn't be happening.
That's true. Thank you. All right, let's get into our questions here.
I'll go ahead, Joe.
I'm gonna go ahead and open these up if you don't mind. Thank you. Oh, I see some good stuff.
Hey, this is your time with us, so please don't be shy. Ask anything that you can think of, anything that you'd like.
Especially if you're really new, there are no stupid questions. And I want to answer them here. This is the thing too. Some people are like, you know, you're like, I don't know. Trust me, you're not the only one that has that question. So ask away. All right. So from Tyler, okay, now we're pivoting to our member part here. So I know my team is closing up anything else, so we can really speak freely about these deals. So from Tyler, what's the best way to handle a seller who calls back angry about my low offer? Do you try to diffuse the situation and maybe renegotiate, or just apologize and move on when someone's really upset by your offer? This happens all the time. All the time. The first thing I do is just like, maybe I do kind of like, oh, maybe I missed something. I know I didn't, but I go, maybe I missed something. What do you think it's worth? 5 times that. Well, shucks, is it next to Walmart? What am I missing? Well, no. And then, you start calming them down and having a little bit of a conversation. That's what your goal is. And your goal is to get on the same page. And then after you start talking, it's not next to Walmart. Okay. Is it a well? Did you improve it or do something? Well, no. Okay. Is it, let me look it up. Let's talk about it. Okay. And then you start going into that, kind of thing. And so many times too, when you start talking and you're having these conversations, what they said was 5 times, then they're like, look, you offered 15,000. I just want 20, it's not 100 or whatever. They came in guns a-blazing, after they get to know you and really understand and everything. So that's really how you do it. But I don't apologize and just move on. And even those people that say, you are nuts, don't ever do like, okay, great. Is it you're going to retire there? Is it, just so I know, just to make sure, is it the price? Is it this is going to be your end property, giving it to the kids, whatever. I try to make sure and find out if there could be any kind of a deal there before I let them go on. And then I even too, if I can, if they're not too pissed off, or just trying to get me off the phone, I'll just say, is there anything, do you have any other properties that you're trying to move or anything else? Because you never know what they all have. Sometimes you send them an offer, they have 3 other things they don't know you might be interested in them. So just try to get a little of a conversation.
Can't reason with the crackhead tweaker.
There's that too.
So
and then that's okay.
That's some of the people that call back.
Yeah.
Some people are just old and they thought that their property was worth a lot more, and they're kind of disappointed on what's going on with the end of their life. And some people are just angry that day at their spouse. You have to kind of just take them from where they're coming in and decide whether or not you're going to hang up the phone. Exactly. Jill leans hard toward calming everybody down and getting a number. That's not necessarily how I used to do it.
There you go. Can I answer Heather's question here?
Absolutely.
So Heather's like, I'm scared a bit to click around in Deal Complete and get charged a bunch of money and having done it wrong. As I'm new and just getting started my first mailer, what do you recommend? Oh, my team's already contacting Heather. They're like, oh, we'll get with Heather.
Well,
and I see some other people. Oh yeah, you want to jump in? Go for
Yeah.
it. Thanks.
Hey
Aaron.
Heather, I know exactly what you're talking about. So what Heather's talking about is how in Data Tree, it's pretty easy to accidentally pull a lot of data and get charged some money. Our goal with Deal Complete was to not have it like that at all. So before you get charged anything, a screen pops up that will tell you either if you're using your credits. So if you have, so many mailer credits, so many Data Tree credits, all of that, it'll tell you how many credits you're using. So you can approve it or you can go back. And then if you are being charged something, you can also approve that. So it's not like Data Tree where you're going to get charged on the back end a couple of days later. It all happens before you even actually pull the data. So don't stress about it. Everything will pop up ahead of time and you'll have to give permission before you get charged anything.
Thank you, Erin. I appreciate that. I like what Martin also wrote too. Try offers to owners, full concierge, and to help you. Tell them what you want. Give them the sizes and the types, and then they take it from there after you approve it all. And there you go. And we could do it that way. old
That's what
school
we do.
way.
That's what
Mhm.
I use.
There we go. Although the template and personalizing it in Deal Complete is pretty darn cool. The mailer template. It's kind of a nice little feature. Excellent. All right, so we're going to Leslie's deal here. So we're Indian River County, Florida. Accepted offer price is $300,000.